Hello and welcome to the program. We're here in the TMC newsroom. My name's Rich Tehrani. We are at the CBX 2010 event at the Marriott Marquis in Manhattan. And on our program today is Martin Levy, who is the Director of IPv6 Strategy at Hurricane Electric. Martin, how are you?
Very good. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to speak with you as well. Can you give us an overview of your company, please?
Yes, certainly. So Hurricane Electric is about a 15-year-old company, private, based in the Silicon Valley Bay Area. And we run large IP backbones around the globe, both from Asia, all through the US and Europe, to provide wholesale IP connectivity, with a focus on V4 and V6.
Okay, and so are you seeing a lot of customers requesting V6?
Yes, so this is probably one of the more interesting parts about internet purchases at the moment. Customers, both enterprise and wholesale, are starting to realize that future-proofing their network means that they have to go to a provider that can provide a dual stack environment. IPv4 for existing internet connectivity and IPv6 for present and future connectivity. And that's what we provide.
And that seems to be a trend I'm seeing in the market as well. Are there any other trends you're seeing amongst your customers?
The usual trend of bandwidth growth has even accelerated higher than normal. So what we've seen is customers who are coming back for larger and larger amounts of capacity, not only because of new applications being delivered both on the global internet and in some cases on private VPNs, but also because the amount of the inbound data, the amount of information that they're bringing in, whether it be as data or image or obviously as video, has increased dramatically. So even the access side of the network has been a massive growth.
Now, internationally, are you seeing any interesting trends?
Well, for us, because we look at the emerging V6 marketplace, what we're seeing is enormous growth in the requirements for V6 out of Europe. We're seeing a classic requirement for V6 out of Asia, and the US is sitting a little bit behind the curve, but not very far as that requirement. So it is slightly different on a geography by geography basis, but I think that's all going to equal out easily within the next year or less even.
So the US will just catch up very quickly?
The US will catch up. It'll catch up because of both work being done on the access side, but also because there's an enormous amount of education. We're dealing with an internet that today, in an IPv4 world, is starting to run out of addresses. And so the requirement to go to V6 has not only been from, let's say, 6, 7, 8 years ago, a technical curiosity that needs to be done at some point in time, down to a fundamental business requirement today. So if companies are not looking at V6 today, they're going to start hitting a brick wall as far as getting IP addresses allocated, or simply even being able to get to sites that may not be available anymore on V4. This is where the catch-up is going to bring everybody to an equal playing field.
And what do you think is going to be next for your company in terms of the next 3-4 years? Are you seeing, is there a specific thing you're going to be doing, or?
Well, saying more of the same is not really an accurate way of answering that, because we've seen enormous growth in internet peering traffic. We have seen enormous growth in backbone traffic, again because of the amount of data that people are collecting both in the enterprise and in the end user, the consumer marketplace. We are seeing a proliferation of customers in both the enterprise and in the wholesale world, where they're increasing their multi-homed connectivity. The use of protocols like BGP to enable them to connect to more than one provider has now started to reach even more users, not just the IP backbones and the ISPs that were using it prior. So the growth in peering, the growth in bandwidth, the additional geography, which is something that our company has always focused on, all of these things are good trends. But if you look at it as one unifying comment, Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet, 10 gigabit Ethernet and above, the methods of connectivity have started to truly come down to a finite set of interconnects, even to places that are coming in from overseas over undersea cables. The days for us of seeing TDM customers are pretty much behind us.
Right. Now, how about the .com/internet/social networking companies?
Two different things happening in that space. There is still great growth, and the growth has changed from many companies to lesser companies, but with more bandwidth,
Right.
more focus on reliability. And then for us, because of the V6 focus, and because of the fact that we run an enormous amount of V6 traffic around the globe, we see a lot of those social media sites, as they start looking at implementing their V6 strategy, starting to come to companies like us and help them get that connectivity going. They don't want to lose eyeballs, because eyeballs nearly always relate to ad dollars, and they like their ad dollars. So
That's great. Well, thanks so much for being on the program, and good luck as we shift to V6.
thank you very much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Bye-bye.